the end when I close it out, please stay with me and make sure that you have not. It shows that we are live on both our YouTube and our Facebook pages. And I like to check and make sure that I'm actually live and it's just not saying that on its own. Great.
It's tough to do it with a bunch of multiple screens on my desk, so.
Oh my goodness, right there with you. I know, that's why it always looks like I'm looking off to the side and okay. Almost ready to kick us off. And excellent. We're going to go ahead and get started because I am starting to see that this is, yep, perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that are hopping on here with us, please make sure that to let us know that you're on here, and you can do so by giving us a thumbs up or simply commenting so I can provide that shout out when I do see your name reflected on our screen. Good morning. I am Juliette Abdel, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. If you're coming back to us, welcome back. And if you are a newcomer to our Facebook page, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button, the follow button, so you can get these timely updates when we do go live. And also find us on our various social media platforms. So at the same time that this is being streamed on Facebook, we actually are streaming it as well on our YouTube page. That's Westminster Chamber of Commerce. For those folks that, of course, do not have YouTube, you can help them by directing them to that outlet as well. Of course, a lot of our videos dating back into March are also available on our Chamber COVID Resource Hub. You can find the link to that resource page in the comments section of this broadcast. Again, that's westminsterchamber.biz/COVID-19-updates. Of course, we've been hosting these videos since March to help our businesses adapt to things that were going on. It was essentially to help them go online, from online ordering platforms, how to engage with their remote workers and more. It's transitioned into features with a business success story where we highlight a business in our community doing some amazing things, even and despite this time, of course. We still have an expert. We have our mayor that kicks off the week. And of course, we reserve Fridays for those state, city, and county updates that we'll have, whether it's administrative or elected. Thursday is near and dear to my heart. I'm a little bit biased because chambers are nonprofits as well, but my Thursday features are always the nonprofit corner. And it's an opportunity to highlight nonprofits in or around our community, not just located directly in Westminster, but servicing us, how they have been coping with COVID, maybe what newer efforts they have taken on, and then into the future, how you can support them best. We've had our school foundations on here before, Westminster and Jeffco Public School Foundations. Last week, you saw with us Arc Thrift Store and the amazing work that they're doing in all of their retail locations and donation centers. So today, I'm equally as pleased to introduce our topic. But before I do, I want to give a shout out and recognize Wayne Anderson. Thank you for hopping on here and tuning into our broadcast with us. I just wanted to pull this up so all of you can see this. Wayne has used the comments function of this broadcast. So at the very bottom of this video, if you're watching on a mobile device, on your computer, you still should have that comment section. Utilize that to let us know what your thoughts are. If you want to provide us compliments, if you're picking up information that's good that you had no idea about. But more importantly, if you have questions. I like this to be a very engaging broadcast, and to be engaging, that means that you and I, both the viewer and the expert presenters, are engaging together in dialogue and discussion. So help us round out this conversation once Mark has provided us those updates. So it's just simple comments, provide us the questions. It's also the way that I can see who is on here with me, as opposed to trying to guess who is tuned in on this broadcast with us. So appreciate you guys for hopping on here, and I hope that you engage with us along the way. So I've alluded to today's topic again. It's the nonprofit corner. We're featuring Westminster 710 Rotary Club that's here, obviously, in Westminster. It's one of a couple that are in our area that are civic organizations. But I want to allow Mark Clark. Mark is a past president of the Rotary Club and has been engaged also in their foundation through that capacity as well. He's heavily involved and supports the work of Rotary, and I could think of none other than to have him on this broadcast. But I do want Mark to share with you about what the Rotary Club is and their foundation, what they have done over the last several months and into the future, what that looks like. So help me help him in guiding this conversation by engaging with us. I do see our board chair, Brian Dice. Thank you for hopping on as well. Mark, take it away.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay? Okay, well, just remember, I'm tech savvy now. Not really. So, yeah, I've been a Rotarian since 2007 with the Westminster 710 Rotary Club. And it's one of those clubs that we're small but mighty. We do a lot of projects locally and international. Just tell you a couple of the programs we're doing now, which we'll get into how COVID is really affecting some of our programs. But one of our big programs is called the Imagination Library, and it's a Dolly Parton project. And what it entails is when a child is born, they get a free book a month until they're 5 years old. So we're really into the literacy education of our kids, and especially locally. And when we first started, we had a couple hundred, and this has been going on for about 10 years. And it's grown and grown to now we have over 2,000 kids in this program. And anybody can sign up for it. We go through the Front Range Community College, Westminster Public Libraries over there in College Hills. And Roger Kudenkoff, I'm sure a lot of people know who he is. He's a big supporter in the community. And his goal keeps saying, just get more kids, we'll find the money. And it's hard to do, especially right now in these times when a lot of your fundraisers and you just can't get out there and hit the community up for some donations. But the state has approved funding if the state has money after all this is done, and is going to give it out to counties. And we're going to work with local Rotary clubs so that in 2023, we'll have 37,000 kids in this program. That's a huge expense. But we also have gone out for grants with the Betcher Foundation. And we're looking at a program that's over $50,000 by the time you get that many kids in the program. But it really helps the kids. And some of these kids, this is their first book they ever have, or they don't even have a book in their home. So, and it's also bilingual. So it helps educate these kids. So when they go in to kindergarten, first grade, they're not behind. And these kids the books are age appropriate. And these kids wait every month for the new book. So that's one of our programs. Another one is C4K. And that's Computer for Kids. We take computers are donated by school districts. City of Westminster has done that, and other people. And we refurbish these computers and hand them out free to middle-aged kids. But we have also had people reach out from Hope House and Ralston House, young mothers that don't have computers. We also expanded to that program. This last summer, we gave out 10,000th computer to kids, and we're looking to get a huge donation of computers here shortly. That was difficult in COVID years, I guess. So we had to set up some kind of way of where people would drive up in their cars, we'd check in a computer and send them on their way. And that was pretty exciting. But again, it makes more things difficult trying to help our community. Another one, it was going to be difficult this year, is dictionaries for third graders. we hand out dictionaries to all third graders in the city of Westminster. Over 1,800 dictionaries a year. We've done this for 20 years, so do the math, that's a lot. But this year, we don't know how to do it because we can't really get into the classroom. We can't give the books or dictionaries to these kids. And again, some of these kids, this is the first time they ever got anything in their life. And they're just so appreciative. And we do other things, International Polio Plus, we're trying to eradicate polio. Do clean drinking water projects, one in Guatemala, Nicaragua, and Kenya. And we also have worked with Rotary International. So with all that, for a club size of maybe 40 people, we do quite a bit. And you ask other clubs, they're like, wow, how do you do all that? And how do you afford it? We do a lot of fundraisers, but right now, I'm just waiting for the next plague. October has to have a really good plague coming up because September's just been fires and snow, so something more exciting. But we do peaches. We sell peaches. We've done that for a long time. 2020 had the big freeze and devastated the peach crop, so we didn't do peaches this year. We do a bocce tournament. I think we were able to pull that off before everything was shut down. But it gives a chance for everybody to come out, and you got some great people that donate some of their beer and food and have a tournament there. Also, we do a golf tournament, which we were able to pull off. That was one of the hard ones because we didn't know how it was all going to pull off. But with the golf tournament, we give out scholarships to high school seniors. And the last couple of years, we were able to give out a 4-year scholarship, 2 of them, one the year before and this last year. It's not a full ride, but it really helps these families out with, college books. If you know what college books cost, it's $500 a book or something anymore. So it helps the kids, and then other kids get 1 year some money for that. So we really do quite a bit. But one of our big fundraisers we started a few years back was the roast. And I'm sure a lot of people have been to that. We had to cancel it this year. And our roastee was Frank DeAngelis. And I don't know if a lot of people recognize that name, but he was the principal of Columbine High when all that happened. And you say, well, how can you roast a guy that went through that? He's an incredible individual, and he has ties to Westminster. He went to Random High School, which, of course, where I went, so that means that's the greatest high school ever. You might see some Westy people complain about that, but just they don't know. But we were going to do that, and we raised quite a bit. And we also work in conjunction with CASA, the Court Advocate, Special Advocates, Appointed Advocates, sorry, I forgot the acronym. But in the last couple of years, we're close to raising about $100,000 in this roast, and we split the cost, and then also the profits. So you're talking, we lost $50,000 plus the peaches. That's probably altogether with all these things we're trying to do, we lost $60,000, and that takes a big hit on some of the programs. When I was on the Rotary Foundation, that's where you would send in your request, and we're still giving out money. We are giving out to like the Hope House, Ralston House, Seafire, Westminster Citizens Police Academy, but it's hard this year. It's really tight. So COVID has not been really fun to get through. A couple things that we did learn is a lot of us learned how to do Zoom. Not all of us were comfortable with it, and so we meet still once a month, or once a week on Wednesday. We used to meet at the ranch, so the ranch has taken a hit because they're not hosting a lot of people like us, and so we're doing it on Zoom, which is okay for a while, but you really do have a hard time not interacting and breaking bread with someone at your table, finding out what they're doing. because everybody's listening to you, so you can't ask certain things on Zoom. So that's really taken a hit on the club and membership. I mean, we're trying to gain membership, but it's hard to get people to get into the Zoom thing. And the people that are members that do Zoom, they work on the computer all day. So the first thing you want to do in the morning is sit in their pajamas and talk to everybody else. So that's really been, I think, a tough thing for all clubs. But the plus takeaway is we can talk to people in California, New York, Mexico, Nicaragua. We had a discussion with someone in Guatemala about the water project and their presentation. So you do expand your horizons a little bit, but it has been a entertaining year, let's say, in the nonprofit world. And I'm sure a lot of other people are in the same boat, especially when you have group gatherings like the roast. We had 200 people. We can't do that. So we're going to move the roast, put in a plug here, into April of this 2021. And it'll be at the Stonebrook Manor. And it is going to be a incredible roast. Got a lot of people from the past, teachers and coaches, to roast Frank. And he has an incredible story. And once you hear about him and who he is and what he went through, it's a great time. And you're also helping CASA, who we've partnered up for like the last five roasts, and things have turned out really great. So that's kind of where we're at at Rotary. And if anybody has questions or comments, donations, it's easy to ask for money after you run for office.
Yeah, I know. It's easy after you've done it a time or two, huh? So thank you so much for all of that. For those of you that are hopping on, I see a lot of people coming on and kind of popping on for a while, and I see Jerry and Rolla and several others. If you're watching, Chantel, I also see you. The best way that I can give you shout outs is by giving me a thumbs up or letting me know that you're on with comments or questions. Today is our nonprofit corner where we're featuring one of our area Rotary clubs. It's the Westminster 710 Rotary Group, meeting on a weekly basis on Wednesdays. Now it's been for the Zoom component, but they generally are in person over at the Ranch Country Club, upward of 40 members that they have. And oh my goodness, on the amounts of projects that they're doing. I will probably share this. I've been a past Rotarian and I bleed Rotary, but in my involvement, it's generally been on the national front, right? And so local clubs usually will do a lot of the projects that nationally our Rotary is promoting, whether it's ending polio and those water treatment or filtration types of activities. But to see you in the community, boots on the ground, supporting other nonprofits like CASA or HOPE, and then doing other initiatives is truly eye-opening. I thank you for sharing that, Mark. So I included a lot of your comments quickly into the comment section. For those of you that are hopping on, you may be able to scroll through and kind of pick up some of the information from drive pickups they were doing for the technology items they were donating, all the way to some of the funds and their ability to continue to offer literacy for children through the Imagination Library and partnerships with Front Range Public Library and things of that nature. So a lot of items that Mark has touched with us on. You can clearly tell that he was the past president, not just for the Westminster 710 Club, but also for the foundation that they run. We did get a quick, kudos or shout out from Tina Silver. Tina is a small business owner in our community, and she was sharing that a lot of what you were commenting was actually great news, Mark. So I just wanted to pull that out and reference it for you. We touched on the C4K, which was the Computer for Kids initiative that you have going on a continual basis. These are computers that are donated to you by municipalities, by individuals, school districts, and then you all refurbish them and then they hand them back out to those kids, in addition to some of those area nonprofits that have those single families and things like that. We did receive a question that came right after that. So I was trying to frame that context for you when this question came in. And Wayne is asking, so for the folks that are tuning into this and may have computer monitors or computers slating around or technology now that they've had time to do upgrades because of COVID, where do they donate those items to?
Well, one first thing I was going to put a plug in for going to our website, Westminster 710 Rotary, and you'll see a lot of our stuff, what's going on. But on the computer side, we don't want them too old. And one of the things is we really do need monitors because a lot of people don't give up those. But we don't need those, big box monitors. They can contact me, or they can talk to Roger Gudenkoff or Joe Duncan. They're heading up that. We usually store the computers and everything over at, well, now it's Hidden Lake High School, the old Westminster High School.
Okay.
But they can also get a hold of me. Excuse me a second.
While Mark is grabbing some water, I do see Counselor Seymour is on here with us watching, and a couple of other folks. But yes, carry on.
Yeah, you can call Rich too. He'll take the lead in anything. But they can contact me, and we can work something out. Like I heard yesterday, I don't remember, it was a lot, over 300 computers are going to be donated, as one of the school districts are going to upgrade. And that helps these kids out greatly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, especially right now, for sure. It's a time of need. So Brian Dice, as you know, is our board chair. He referenced the reading program that you mentioned earlier was great. It's very important for the development component for those kids having access to reading material and information that's out there. So the question is a follow-up to that comment that he made, and hearing more about that program that you have going on. He's asking, how do you select which children are getting these books, the types of books that they're getting, or the content? How is that driven? Is there specific types of books that you're collecting to then turn around and donate to those kids? If so, how are you identifying them? And if it's not specific content, what does that look like?
Well, it goes to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library Project, and these are brand new books, and these are selected for age group, and the Westminster Library and them will coordinate that, and that comes right from the Dolly Parton project. They'll mail it to them. We just kind of keep a track of who's on the list, and if that person moves, we will find out where they have an opportunity to say, hey, we moved to Aurora. That book follows that kid for every month. So if they're 1 year old, that will be appropriate for 1 year olds. It basically, gets them to start reading, start looking at pictures, kind of that type of thing. I really haven't seen one of the books for a long time because we don't handle them, and the library just handles the list. So they do come out, and that program is huge.
It is
countrywide, and it was really nice. Roger went down and signed it into law to fund this project, and we're, I think, one of the bigger proponents of this. So we're trying to get other Rotarians and Rotary groups in Adams County to help participate in this, so we can really grow it up to all the kids that are born in Adams County.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
And
it's
the question.
Yeah, no, I think that's terrific. And it's part of a network. And I think that helps Brian in understanding, the Imagination Library is this nationwide program, and it's been for years on end and highly successful. I know Dolly's put in a lot of effort to get that going, but it's through partnerships that it continues to survive, and outreach to numerous folks as well.
And a lot of people know about that. And so this last couple of years, we were doing the Santa Claus, helping Santa at the City of Westminster. And, we would just hand out hot chocolate and apple cider, and you start talking to these parents, and they don't realize it's going on. And we signed up a lot of people. And they're the ones we hear from. The kids are looking forward to it every month. And I guess there's one family that moved, and they were upset that they weren't getting it, but we actually found them, and they got their book back, and I think everybody's happy again. But this is great to help educate our future.
No, absolutely. No, it does. It starts with the key to success and getting out of any social position you might be in is definitely education. I believe that to the fullest. Joshua Dutton, thank you for hopping on here with us as well. Wayne shared that he did hear about your presentation about the water project that you're doing and that it was a great presentation. I mentioned a shout out already for Councillor Seymour. Thank you for hopping on here with us. And then he did go in detail and share that they are actively accepting applications for new Rotarians. In fact, Rich is the membership chair, so you can connect with him directly here on Facebook or PM him so that you can learn more about how to get involved or engaged with their organization. And he is referencing that there is a $1 fine. I think it was as a follow-up to a comment you had made, Mark, but in reality, I think it should fall back on him and negate it because he misspelled "we are." So I'm going to take your side and say that that fine is washed instead.
Well, to put some history behind that, Rotary will change your life. At first you think the time commitment and some of the dues or whatever, but during the end of the meeting, it's called Sergeant of Arms. I'm one of them. Rich is not. He's a membership chair. And for that, it's going to cost him $1 at the next meeting for bringing that up. So he can't fine a sergeant. So we'll fine you for anything. So that's how we raise some money just for fun. It's a $3 maximum fine, but we have some good sergeants. We extract, or some people say extort, a lot of money out of our members at the meetings, and we have a lot of fun. I think I've been to a lot of other groups, and some of them are pretty serious, some of them business driven. We have some great leaders in our club from the cities and just around, have been around for a long time. We have a lot of fun and we laugh. And, sometimes when Wednesdays come along and it's been a tough week, you go meet some people, and that's where you see them in person. You realize there are some great people in this world, and they're all Rotarians. So, but it's still going to cost Rich $1 fine. So.
Oh, I love it. So we're still one up on him. This is terrific. That's great news. That's what I got out of this. So, Mark, you mentioned, that a good way people can now support the club is obviously through membership, and there's a component of the computers that they can also assist with. How else can we rally behind you? You shared that the roast is postponed until April. We had the issues with peach sale, which I was devastated by because I like peach cobbler, so I do end up buying a bunch. But we had these two things take place and combine them together, and we're in this situation where you guys do not have as much revenue as you would around this time. So how can people outside of membership and outside of at least the computer, is there any other hands-on elements that people can help you with, or what would that look like? And quick shout out to Parker Brown. Thank you for hopping on here with me.
Well, I think you can donate, and you can donate to whatever program you want to. Then you go on our website and look that up. And one thing, just a couple of us got together and we wanted to support our first responders. And it just started out a little idea. And one of them says, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And the other ones, "These are our heroes." And it has the Westy badge, police and fire. And, got 50 of them, and I don't have any more. And like they're $10 a piece, and people were putting them out, and we put a lot up around and gave them to the police officers and fire stations and that type of thing. But we're trying to recreate ourselves, and $10 is
it's nothing.
We might make $100 profit, but that $100 will help the kid be able to read. Donations are always great, but we would like to see participation in our projects like the BOCI tournament, the golf tournament, the roast. The roast is well done, and we have some great artistic people in our group that it rivals ZZ Top at Red Rocks. I mean, that's how good we are. So
it is a pretty fun night, I must say, and thank you to Rich for inviting me for the last couple of years as his guest. But it is a fun time, and I hope you guys can see. You know, this is one of the reasons that we're doing our gala at the end of this month for the chamber. You mentioned your roast is pushed out to April, and a lot of our nonprofits are in that position. You know, we rely on these types of programs or events to really raise some of those revenue streams that we need. And so having to postpone or cancel in some of the cases is really coming back to hurt us. So the reason we're doing that hybrid event is to try and show how you can pick back up on doing them safely, soundly, following guidelines and guidance, but also still find that source of revenue and support. So that will definitely be the benchmark, and I hope you guys can see that success and mirror it and move forward with the roast, because that is a program that is fun, but it also comes back and benefits two area nonprofits that are doing so much for us. So we are at
I was gonna big shout out. First of all, since Rich is a membership chair, Juliet, I think you need to call him after this meeting.
I know. I'll
have him call you, and it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you guys have not circled on me for a while. Huh. There's like a lost interest. No, but I do firmly, I support a lot of our area nonprofits and civic organizations, but Rotary is one that I also support personally as well. So,
and I just want to say to our local businesses, even through these hard times, we do silent auctions, and it seems like we always go out and hit the same people, the same group, the same companies, and they give freely. And I think we need to support our local businesses, because if it wasn't for them, we couldn't put on roasts and tournaments and all this other stuff. And they're hurting big time, but they still give. And there's some incredible small businesses out there that, it'd take me an hour to go through all of them, but they make everything possible for us to get more money.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Well, Mark, I told you that this goes by pretty fast. I don't think anybody ever really realizes how fast until they start talking with me on here. And then you're like, it's been 30 minutes already. It has. It's been over too. So I just wanted to thank you for hopping on here and sharing a lot of the work that's been going on. You guys are doing so much, and sometimes a lot of our community does not notice that or realize it. So this is our opportunity to be able to highlight you and your continued successes, but also to show that even during this time, you're continuing to do work, and you do need that support from the community in numerous ways. So whether that's donations or membership or hands-on providing specific items to the various projects you're doing. For folks that are interested in finding out more about Westminster 710 Rotary, what website was that?
Westminster 710 Rotary.org. It's sad because I'd have to look it up now. I think it's .org.
Is it with the 2 dots without?
Without.
Okay.
Westminster 710 Rotary Club.
Had to make sure. So I've included the website link into the comment section of this broadcast for folks to be able to find and navigate and be able to just peruse through and see the various projects and things going on in the community that Rotary is doing. I thank all of you for tuning in with us. Those that are newcomers, of course, I welcome you back to us by hitting that like and follow button on our page. For those of you that are returning, I always love seeing your faces. Your comments bring us much joy during these broadcasts. We are at our 30-minute or over a 30-minute mark, which means that I need to close this out. But it does also mean that I have to give you an update. Tomorrow, we will be back here at 11 a.m. We are bringing back our second update from our U.S. Chamber partners to talk federally. You did hear from Ray Gonzalez back in July, so it's been nearly 60 days. It's actually been right at 60 days since I had him on here with us, so he'll be sharing any updates or progress on the federal level as it relates to COVID, and of course, some of the efforts that we're working on simultaneously together. That will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. If this broadcast was valuable to you, which I know it was, make sure that you hit that share button onto your personal page, onto the story, or let others know about the work that our Rotary Club is doing in and around our community. Now more than ever, our nonprofits are really stepping forward and are doing much more with less. So we want to get that word out and show them that support. And of course, to you, Mark, one, do not hop off once I hit that end button. But I also thank you for spending the morning with me and making sure that the information was out to the public and ways that they can engage and find out more. Okay.
Okay, it was a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you.